Good afternoon. It happens, in fact, that I have the honor of being nowadays the chairman of the Portuguese Institute of Oncology, one that has quite a few of some of those photos of that one that has been shown by Mark. He said that one of his slides was obsolete. Well, my whole possibility of talk is obsolete because João quite well and quite deeply depicted what is the situation of therapeutics nowadays. All the session has been with some bridges to medical applications, and I knew that, so I didn't prepare no slides, and I prefer to be somewhat more emotional because we were at the Institute, were already thinking and speaking and meeting about the possibility of integrating a proton facility in the Institute. We have all the pioneering that José Marques referred in this field and the radiation field and also in other fields. And for us, for the development that we were aware of, proton therapy would, of course, be a natural development in our institute. But we were inside the institute completely blunted by the perspectives relating to the price, to the costs involved. We had no perspective on that. I had some, due to his disease, some talks with Professor Mariano Gago during some time, and our talks, he had time at the time, and we talked about a lot of things, quite important for me, I must say. But one of the things he said, protons, at CERN they already discovered everything they had to discover, and now they will come to build small proton machines, and not expensive ones, and that will change in the future. Well, he said that in some... But I was somehow surprised that some months after, João Oliveira asked for a meeting with us at the Institute. I didn't know about what it was, and he came accompanied by Gaspar Barreira. And all of a sudden, the perspective of proton therapy became more easily foreseen by us, because we understood, and the enthusiasm of Gaspar at the time was fundamental. It changed everything I think about that. Well, you are physicians, you are physicists, I'm a physician. That has nothing to do one thing with the other, apparently. And you must forbid you must apologize my ignorance and the importance of that meeting, the importance I attribute to that meeting. Gaspar came with all his enthusiasm, and for him to inaugurate a proton facility in Portugal would be a matter of some will. That would depend only on the will we would put on that. And he drove and geared this committee that José Marques just referred. Of course, we had to understand that what was clear for us at the time was that either this was in full agreement and in full synergism with the research in physics, or this would never see the light in Portugal in the future, in the approaching future, despite what Mariano Gago just had said. This committee began. We had some fruitful contacts with the government. We made some developments. For us, it was also clear that this this driving by the research endeavor would quite clearly proportionate an installation at the nuclear campus of Instituto Superior Técnico. And this is kind of discussion that, of course, we initiated and we are still dealing with, among other medical instances in Portugal. Not every radio-oncologist agrees with the installation outside a medical facility, but we know this is a discussion that is nowadays quite. This is a discussion that is not specific from ours in Portugal. It's a discussion, and we could see facilities as outpatients, as was exemplified some minutes ago. We see others that are inside hospitals, and we think both are possible. We are, of course, studying the very definition that we must have. For us, it is quite clear nowadays also that we must have a network for this, even if the network begins with just one unit, which is acceptable, I think. There is also one factor for this roadmap in Portugal, that is the synergism between the three centers of the Portuguese Institute of Oncology. As it was said, the Portuguese Institute of Oncology has now nearly 11 years of age, and it is situated in Lisbon, but there were centers also created in Oporto and Coimbra, and this, since some 7 years, this constitutes a hospitalar group, and the Portuguese Institute of Oncology is now a common institute which action is now solidifying, and we think the solidity of the group Portuguese Institute of Oncology will, of course, be instrumental for the development of the network of proton therapy in Portugal. I would not spare time that is necessary for other presentations. I thank you very much. I don't know if there is a question that I must